Here with you live, everybody. Welcome. We are getting ready to start Series 178 for your entertainment. Another live baseball series from the history of baseball. Two teams from the past getting ready to face off each other. We got two rival National League teams ready to go this time. It's the Cardinals and the Mets, which always makes things exciting. Even as the teams are far, far away in eras, still two very good franchises and enjoying playing against each other, and many fans of each team I'm sure will enjoy it as well. So let's go ahead and introduce our participants for Series 178. Again, presented by Out of the Park Baseball 21. So heading out to our first participant, it's the 1995 New York Mets, led by Dallas Green. The Mets, 69-75, finished second in the NL East with that losing record. Of course, the 95 season a little bit short due to the strike. But the Mets in a weak Eastern Division, obviously behind the always powerful Braves, finished in second place. Looking at their team, you can see here Rico Brogna, a name you might not have heard for a number of years, hit 22 homers, 76 RBIs. He played first base and hit 289 in the best year of his career, but more familiar to you probably be Jeff Kent, 20 home runs, 65 RBIs. He hit 278. Only walked 29 times, so didn't get on base much for Kent. Edgardo Alfonso, at 21 years old, just getting started, a very popular player. He hit 278. You have 38-year-old Brett Butler in center field, hit 311, still getting it done, 21 steals, a great bunter. But, of course, age catching up to him. Carl Everett, 260, his average 12-54. You had Jose Vizcaino at 287 playing shortstop, and Todd Hundley behind the plate. He hit 280 with 15 long ones and 51 RBIs. So some talent on the team. And of course, there's Bobby Bonilla. He hit 325 at 32 years old, 18 homers, 53 RBIs. We'll probably see a lot of Bonilla. He had a big role on this team, even if the hype didn't quite match his production. From there, the Mets pitching during this time was being led by maybe not so many household names. Bobby Jones actually got the most starts. He was 10-10 with a 419. He struck out 127 in an average year, I would say. Dave Milicky, even more average, 9-7 and 25 starts. He struck out 123. Bill Pulsifer, 5-7 in his 17 starts. A couple names you might know a little bit better. Pete Harnish, 2-8 in 18 starts, not a bad ERA. And Brett Saberhagen at 31 years old, still dealing with injuries. He was 16 starts. He finished 5-5. And Jason Isringhausen, at 22 years old, still getting a chance as a starter, and not bad indeed. 9-2 for him, and I have a feeling we'll see some of him from Dallas Green on the mound in this series. John Franco, at 34 years old, still got 29 saves with the 244. So Franco, very, very good still out of the pen. You had Doug Henry and Jerry DePoto, some other names out of the pen that will see some action. So the Mets, not near their glory days, nor the better days that would come at the end of the decade of the 90s. In the middle of the 90s, Dallas Green had a team that was pretty average, not a whole lot to work with, but still some talent here. Injuries also an issue for the Mets, and maybe expecting them to be successful might be asking too much. But that, of course, also depends on who their opponents will be. And for that part of it, we're going to introduce the 1921 St. Louis Cardinals. So they do get a pretty good team, I believe. The Cardinals in the 20s, very good actually under Branch Rickey. Famous Branch Rickey, before he headed to the Dodgers, was actually managing the Cardinals and building a heck of a roster. 87-66, third in the NL. So unlike the Mets, who were in a weak division, these Cardinals were in a very competitive National League. Looking at their team, of course, led by 25-year-old Rogers Hornsby. Quite frankly, one of the best hitters ever to take a baseball field, 397, his average. Yes, that is a real 397. 235 hits, 44 doubles, 18 triples, 21 homers, 126 driven in. There's nothing Hornsby couldn't do, and in his prime, it's as good as it gets, as you see here by the numbers. Jack Fournier, we've seen him before. 343, a very good average, 16 and 86 for him. Fournier also a great hitter. Austin McHenry, maybe someone you haven't heard. He hit 17 and drove in 102, hit 350. So another very, very good hitter. Les Mann, 328 for him. Jack Smith rounding out the outfield. Milt Stock hit 307. 84 RBIs him. A sneaky good year for Stock. Doc Lavin, the shortstop at 259. And Vern Clemens at catching hit 320. Yes, for a catcher. So you can see the average is very, very high here for the Cardinals. Obviously, Hornsby rubbing off on some of his teammates. Joe Schultz, 309 off the bench with 304 plate appearances for him. And as a team, they hit 308. 308 as a team. Pretty magnificent for this early Cardinals team. Pitching-wise, maybe not as strong. Jesse Haynes, though, was a good pitcher, 18 and 12, 350 for him in 244 innings, 14 complete, 2 shutouts, only walked 56. Bill Doak, 15 and 6, also very good. Excellent ERA at 259, a whip at 1.2, and he went over 200 innings. Bill Pertica, 14 and 10, 208 for him as well. And Roy Walker got 23 starts. He was 11 and 12, his ERA a little bit higher. As Jeff Pfeffer, who's 33, getting up in age, we might not see him start very often. Lou North, one of the good names out of the pen. He pitched in 86 innings, but Bill Schertle started in 8 games, but was the main man out of the pen. He pitched in 144 innings with a nice 3.18 ERA. So Branch Rickey has a good roster here, a very good team. Fournier and especially Hornsby, along with McHenry, going to lead this lineup, and expect to see a lot of hits and a lot of men on base for the Cardinals, who play the Mets, and definitely St. Louis is going to be the favorite. The Cardinals, best of 7 here, will play the first 2 games at Sportsman's Park. They'll try to incorporate their small ball of the 20s before we move over to Shea Stadium in New York for the middle portion of the series, and we'll see how things play out. So this is Series 178. Once again, fans, the 1921 favored St. Louis Cardinals will take on the 1995 New York Mets. Of course, in 1921, there was no such team as the Mets, so we'll see how things play out. Game 1 starters, it's Bobby Jones against Bill Doak. A good pitching matchup for Game 1. And Game 1 always sets the tone for any series. So excited to see what happens next. Let's head out to Sportsman's Park. Roger Hornsby and the Cardinals ready to take on the Mets. And this best of 7 series is ready to go. Let's get to the field. Jose Vizcaino here is up against Bill Doak to start the final game at Sportsman's Park. Full crowd capacity. And there's a strikeout. So Vizcaino is down. And here's Les Mann now, the hitter. And Mann lines one to center field. This one's going to be down for a hit. So Mann will head to second here. He might have more than 2. He's going to head for 3. Les Mann with a triple here in the second inning with a 1 out. And here now is Vern Clemens with a chance to get St. Louis on the board. And Clemens will line one to right field. 1-0 Cardinals. They get on the board here in the second inning. To the 6th we go. Carl Everett up there. It's a 1-0 game. Everett will line a single past the third baseman with nobody out here in the sixth. And Ryan Thompson now up. Thompson will strike out looking. They get him there. And now David Segui, the hitter. Segui lines 1-2 left. That'll get down. Here in the seventh inning, he leads off with a single. 2-0's our score in favor of St. Louis. Bobby Bonilla, the hitter. And Bonilla will go down the line just fair and left. That will be extra bases. Runner heading to third. He's going to try to score, and the Mets are going to get on the board on the Bonilla double here in the seventh to lead the 2-1. Rico Brogna now will try to tie things up if he can, but he looks at a breaking ball for strike three, the first out of the frame. Jeff Kent now the hitter. It's walked an inside pitch, so first and second. Doak's in some trouble, 1 out. And actually, Jackie May has come in to pitch against Todd Hundley. And Hundley will promptly single up the middle. Bonilla heading to third. Bonilla is going to score, and the Mets have tied the score 2-2. A full count pitch is hammered by Hundley. And now the Mets look for more. Carl Everett now at the plate. Everett will go to center field, but that's a little bit lazy. That's going to be caught out there. Runner does tag, however, and he'll make it. Kemp makes it to third base, so with 2 outs, runners on the corners for Ryan Thompson. And Thompson goes to center field. That ball's got some carry to it, but it is caught out there. So the game remains tied at 2 in the 7th inning stretch. Top of the 8th here for Chris Jones. Jones will line a single to center to lead off the 8th inning for New York. The Mets looking good in this game. Jose Vizcaíno up now, full count. And this one's lifted to left field. Coming on over to make the plays, Mick Henry. So with 1 out, David Segui, the hitter. Blue North delivers, and there's ball 4. So the Mets with first and second now, 1 out. And Bobby Bonilla back up there, who's already come through. And Bonilla lines one deep to left field at the wall. Bobby Bo. Home run, 3-run shot, 5-2 Mets. A big home run by Bonilla. And New York has exploded here. Jeff Kent now the next hitter. And Kent's going to come through with a single here to right field. We move now to the bottom of the 8th. Jack Vernier up there facing Doug Henry. Vernier will line a shot to center field with 2 outs. He'll make it to second with a double. The Cardinals down 3 runs. And Jack Smith is the hitter. Smith will line this one to center field. That'll get down. Throw to the plate's going to be late, so the Cardinals cut the lead to 2 here in the 8th inning. And Rogers Hornsby up with 2 outs, a full count. Hornsby takes ball 4. So the tying run on the bases here for the Cardinals. And Austin McHenry, the hitter. Dangerous spot here for the Mets. This one's drilled deep, way back to right. 3-run home run, McHenry. Do you believe it? The Cardinals put 3 on the board on the long opposite field home run, and it is already now 6-5 St. Louis. What a comeback here late by the home team. To the 9th we go. Bill Bailey, the pitcher against Todd Hundley. And the Mets answer. They've seen their lead evaporate on one swing of the bat. This one's hit to center field, however, should be caught. It is. 1 out here for Carl Everett. He strikes out swinging. Bill Schertle now facing Ryan Thompson with 2 outs here in the 9th. 6-5 game. And that's a strikeout. So the St. Louis Cardinals win Game 1. One swing of the bat made the big difference here today in just a great baseball game. 2 home runs actually were the story. Bobby Bonilla hit a big one for New York. In the 8th inning, to put his team up, it was a 3-run shot, but in the bottom of the 8th, it was Mick Henry who hit a 3-run home run to make it 6-5 and give the lead for good to St. Louis, who held out in the 9th. Bonilla was 2 for 4, 4 RBIs, a good game for him. And Bobby Jones, 7 innings strong, 5 strikeouts, but he didn't get a decision in this one. It was North who got the win, Henry the loss, and Schertle the save. But a very exciting game, especially that 8th inning. Definitely worth the price of admission. A close one in the end goes to the favored Cardinals, who didn't give up and fought back for the win. So Game 1 history. It's a great start to the series. We'll see if Game 2 continues the tight excitement, especially the big hits and home runs at the end of the game that make it so exciting. Let's see here as Jesse Haynes takes the mound for the host Cardinals against Bill Pulsipher. Pulsipher will try to get the Mets even, and the Cardinals will try to extend their lead here at home in the series. So Game 2 coming up, heading out now to Sportsman's Park for all the action. Fernier up here for Game 2. Fernier goes deep to the wall here in right field in the first inning. He's going to make it all the way to third, so Jack Fernier with a leadoff triple in first as the Cardinals get off on the right foot. And here's Hornsby. Hornsby goes to third. That's bobbled over there at third base. It's going to be an error. The run's going to score. Bonilla couldn't handle it. And it's 1-0 St. Louis. Hornsby makes it to second. Here's Les Mann. Mann drills a single to left field. Let's see if Hornsby's waved. He is. No hesitation from Hornsby. It's 2-0 St. Louis. They jumped on the Mets here in game number 2. Third inning. Hornsby back up at the plate. He lines one into the corner all the way to the wall in left field. Mann heading for third. He's going to try to score. Throw to the plate's going to be late, and it is 3-0 Cardinals. Roger Hornsby here with a RBI double. 4-1 our score to the 4th inning. 2 on for Todd Hundley. Hundley looks at strike 3, however, for the second out of the inning. We move to the 7th. Jeff Kent is on third with Hundley back up at the plate. There's a walk. Pretty Shoop now with men on the corners. The tying run at the plate, and Carl Everett. Everett goes back to the mound. Play at second is made, so that's the first out. Runner will hold on third. Not sure why Kent didn't go on that play, but here's Ryan Thompson. Thompson will line a single left field. Kent will score on this one. And it is 4-2 now. New York making a run here. Chris Jones with 1 out. Jones hits it to short, however. But on there, a big mistake by the shortstop. And now the Mets get a big break. The bases are loaded after the error. 1 out, and Jose Vizcaino now at the plate with a big chance. Vizcaino goes to third. Play at home is made. They get the force. No play at first, but a nice play there. They get the force out. And David Segui really has to come through here for the Mets if they have any hope. But he hits it to third. Play at first is made. And the Cardinals get out of it. Could have been a lot worse. As you hear the 7th inning stretch in the background. Here's Joe Schultz, who's up here in the bottom of the 7th with the man on. Schultz will line this one deep to left, up against the wall. Home run for Schultz Jr. St. Louis going up now 6-2. They're doing everything right late in these games here early in this series. showing their character, and we move to the ninth inning, folks. Scherner's still in the game. Ryan Thompson up with 2 outs. And St. Louis is going to get this game. They throw in there from second base. It's Hornsby. And this one is over. St. Louis takes both games at home. They win this one 6-2 to take game number 2 and take a commanding lead here in this series. Jesse Haynes gets the win. Pulsifer gets the loss. He ran into some trouble early in this one. And Joe Schultz Sr., I think I called him Junior, but it's actually Senior with 2 RBIs with a home run, an unexpected source of power for the Cardinals, and they get the win. So it's all been St. Louis, the favorites, coming out and winning both games. Game 1 was a classic. Game 2 they controlled pretty much from the beginning. And now the series will switch to Shea Stadium, where the Mets really got to get it right. And Dallas Green's got to get his team on the right track if they are to prevent a quick end to this series. Jason Isringhausen will take the mound for the Mets. The 21-year-old will have a chance to perform in a clutch spot against Roy Walker, who is the man in Game 3 for the Cardinals. So the scene changes to Shea. Let's see if the results change and if the Mets can rebound. Heading now live to a full Shea Stadium for Game 3 between the Cardinals and the Mets. Ready to go top of the first. Jack Bernier against Isringhausen at Shea Stadium. And there's a walk. Actually, a hit Bernier. That's going to bring up now Jack Smith. Smith hits this one to second. They got to play it second. First out of the first. And Bobby Bonilla at the plate. Here's the pitch. Bonilla lines this one hard and deep to left. Could it be another one? Yes! Bobby Bonilla with the lead. And it is 2-0 Mets, as they get the boost they need here as they return home. After a rough couple games in St. Louis, they are now up 2-0 in the fourth. Here's Hornsby. The great Hornsby. He'll take this one deep to left. Also, the park won't hold it. Hornsby with a solo home run, 400 plus feet, and it's 2-1. Here's Fournier now. We're in the sixth. It's a 1-run ball game. Fournier's going to hit this one in front of the mound. Isringhausen throwing, but I think he's going to be late. Fournier with the infield single. Full count now to Jack Smith. Smith goes to first. Play will be made there. Runner moving to second, so the tying run on second. Another man on first. And here's Vern Clemens up against Isringhausen. This one's hit to second. One play is made at first, and the inning is over here. But the game is now tied at 2. And coming to the plate now, Carl Everett in the bottom of the 7th. So the Cardinals come right back. But Everett puts the charge in the one deep into the bleachers. Home run for Carl Everett to put the Mets right back up here. 3-2. Big shot opposite field, Carl Everett. 8th inning now. Fournier back up at the plate. Doug Henry, the pitcher for the Mets. And this one's drilled to center field. Great diving catch. What a play there by Thompson. He robs Fournier of extra bases. Ryan Thompson A-plus play, and here's Hornsby now in the 8th, full count, 2 outs, and he strikes out. There's a rarity for Hornsby to go down on a fastball. We move to the 9th. It's 3-2 Mets. DePoto has come in to try to close it. Here's McHenry. He lines a shot, however. That's a base hit to left field, so a leadoff hit here for St. Louis. Les Mann now coming up. Mann goes to second. They get the play there, really to first. It is a double play for New York. So 2 outs now. Vern Clemens, the last hitter. And Clemens will pop it up. This should do it. Another great play in center field by Thompson, and the Mets squeak by here 3-2 as they return back home and get the job done to make it clear that they're going to fight this series out and not just be bait for the Cardinals. It is Roy Walker who started the game for St. Louis along with Isenhausen, but neither of them were in the decision. Bobby Bonilla with a 2-run home run. He was 1 for 4. Hornsby also homered, as did Carl Everett, and it was the Carl Everett home run in the 7th inning that was the difference in this ball game. Minor gets the win. DePoto was able to close the door. The Mets had some scary moments, but a good pitching battle by both sides ends in a 1-run win for New York, making the home fans happy and giving the Mets some hope here going forward. So they continue to play now at home, and it's going to be Brett Saberhagen, who has quite a resume of pitching in big games. He'll take the mound for New York against Bill Portica. Bill Portica is going to be the man for the Cardinals to try to match it. And game 2 now, very, very crucial, of course. We will either have a tie series or St. Louis will get back on top here for the stranglehold of a 3-1 lead. Let's see what happens. Heading back out to Shea for game number 4. Bottom of the first, David Segui up with a man on second base. And Segui singles to left field. Let's see if they send the runner. They will. Throw's going to be late. And it is 1-0 now New York. Now they got men on the corners, and Portica has a real problem with Jeff Kent at the plate. Kent goes the other way, and he goes hard the other way. And goodbye. He laced that one over the wall. Ricked it the other way for a 3-run homer. Jeff Kent now rounding the bases. It is 4-0 New York. What a start they're having in this ball game. To the 3rd inning, 4-1. Fournier at the plate. Saberhagen delivers. This one's drilled deep into the gap there. That's going to score a run. So the Cardinals coming back. They cut the lead to 4-2 now. And Hornsby at the plate to try to do even more damage. Hornsby lines one deep. That one's got a chance. Could it be, folks? Yes! Another home run here. Rogers, Hornsby, a 2-run bomb, and it is 5-4. The Cardinals a step closer here. They are 1 run down. And we move to the 6th. Vern Clemens, the hitter. Clemens will line this one to center field. That one's deep. That one's to the wall. That one's gone. Home run, and the Cards have now tied it up. Vern Clemens with a solo home run, and St. Louis means business. They come right back at the Mets. We're in the 7th now, tied up. 2 outs for Fournier. Minor's the new pitcher, and Fournier goes deep to right. He's now going to give the Cards the lead. Fournier, a home run. It's now 3 home runs in this game for the Cardinals. They completely turn the game on its head as the Shea Stadium crowd is stunned watching these balls leave the yard. Here's Bobby Bonilla. Bonilla lines one. That'll get down into the corner in left field. So Bobby Bo with 1 out. He's the tying run. Here's Brogna. Brogna's going to fly this one to center field. It's going to drop in there. Let's see if they send the runner. Throw to the plate. Not on in time, and this game is tied. So the Mets come right back, tie the game at 6, and Jeff Kent is up now. He's already homered, and he lines one deep now to right field. That'll drop in there for a hit. Runner move in the 3rd, so the Mets a big threat here in the 7th. Full count now on Todd Hundley. Lou North, the new pitcher, and Hundley goes deep to center. That'll drop in there for a hit. Another run for the Mets. The runner on 3rd is gonna score after a wild throw. Looked like they had him. They didn't. The throw goes into the dugout, and it is 8-6 Mets. What a big inning they're having. Now the base is loaded. They can really put it away as Vizcaíno's at the plate with 2 outs. And he'll line a drive to center field. Another hit for New York. They completely pour it on here. It is now 9-6. They get the second runner at the plate and throw him out. Not a good base running play, but the Mets will take the huge inning here. 9-6. Now they got the lead, and Hornsby now up here in the 8th. The Cards find themselves down 3. Hornsby's already homered, and he goes deep again. Red hot Rogers Hornsby showing he's got power in that bat. 9-7 now the score here in the 8th inning. Hornsby just on fire. We move bottom of the 8th. David Segui at the plate as the Mets are nursing a 2-run lead. Segui will line a single to center field. And with 2 outs, we're in the 9th now. Joe Schultz Sr. at the plate against DePoto. Let's see if the Mets can close it down. Here's a pop-up. That's going to be to right field. Coming on over to make the play is Carl Everett, and that will do it, folks. The Mets have fought all the way back. They've won both their games here at Shea Stadium, and they tied this series now at 2. What a great game. Game number 4 was. A lot of action, long balls, you name it. Jeff Kent was 2 for 4. He had 4 RBIs, including a 3-run bomb. Rogers Hornsby, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. He was 2 for 4. David Segui, 3 for 5, 2 runs scored. The Mets hammered out 14 hits, however, including that 4-run 7th inning. Fournier also went deep, along with Clemens for the Cardinals, but not enough. DePoto gets his second save of the series. And now, folks, we got a best of 3. As coming right back have the Mets been, and the home team has won every game in this series. You can see some of the numbers here. Look at Jack Fournier. He's batting .533. On the other side, you got the likes of David Segui, who's batting .375, and Bonilla has already driven in 6 runs. So a lot of good performances thus far, but the most important ones are those wins, and we are tied up. Wouldn't have expected the Mets to fight back, but Dallas Green has them going. And we'll move now to the crucial Game 5, the last game at Shea. It's Bill Doak for the Cardinals against Bobby Jones. It's getting exciting, folks, so let's see how things play out and which of these 2 teams will take the lead going into St. Louis. A big, big game now, Game 5, coming at you live. Bobby Jones facing Jack Fournier. And right back at him, he shoots it up the middle, but the shortstop is there. Vizcaíno to make the play. Runner on 3rd now in the 2nd inning. Doc Glavine, the hitter. Glavine takes this to center. That's going to drop for a hit, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead here in the 2nd inning. The Mets now bottom of the 3rd. Bobby Bonilla up with 2 outs and 2 on. Bonilla's going to hit this one hard. It'll drop in right. So now, base is loaded for Rico Brogna, 2 outs. And Bill Doak will try to get out of this one. Here's a pop-up. That's going to be a little bit tough. Let's see if it drops in there. It does! The ball placed perfectly, and the Mets grab the lead as Brogna singles in 2 on a little popper that the shortstop couldn't get to. And New York now the lead. We move to the fifth. Fernier up with the man on second. He'll line this one to left field. That'll get down. So just like that, the Cardinals tie this game at 2. The Cardinals been having all types of problems here at Shea Stadium. Let's see what happens here. Jack Smith now facing Bobby Jones. And he takes a close pitch for ball 4. So 2 on, 2 out for St. Louis. And here's Rogers Hornsby. Hornsby goes to first. Nice play there. And they get him. So the game remains tied at 2. We're in the 6th. Austin McHenry, the hitter. McHenry hits it hard past the third baseman, Bonilla, so he's on first here with nobody out. And Les Mann, the hitter. Mann lifts this one to left. Gonna be caught out there. 2 men on now for Doc Lavin. 2 outs. A big spot of this game in the 6th inning. And this one's hit into center field. Way back there near the wall. It's gonna be caught. Nice catch by Thompson. And this game remains tied at 2. Bottom of the 6th. Jeff Kent now up there with a man on second base. And Kent's gonna hit this to third. But it's bobbled. A mistake there. An error is going to be charged. And you got runners on the corners now with only 1 out. And Todd Hundley with a big spot. He'll line a single to center field. And the Mets will take the lead. New York really coming together here at home. And they take a 3-2 lead. Here's Carl Everett. Everett goes a little tapper. That's going to be a very tough play. And it's an infield hit. So bases juiced for Ryan Thompson, the center fielder. Only 1 out. He'll hit it to center field. This one is caught. Here's the throw to the plate. It's going to be late, and New York gets a sacrifice fly. Jeff Kent scores, and it is 4-2. Here's Brogna, bottom of the 7th. This one's hit hard. That's going to drop in there against the Geico sign in right field. Brogna coming through. And we got another run for New York. It is 5-2 now to the 8th inning. McHenry, the hitter. He'll dump this one into center field with 1 out. The Cardinals down 3. And Les Mann, the hitter. Don Florence has come in to pitch. But he walks a man. And now St. Louis brings the tying run up. Vern Clemens, the hitter. Clemens will go to right field with a base hit. So now the base is full for Milt Stock in a huge spot in this game and this series in this 8th inning. Here's a fly ball long and deep to left field to the wall. Grand slam. Unbelievable. Taken out of the park by Milt Stock, not the man you would expect, and St. Louis stunning the Mets, going back up 6-5. Holy cow, what a turn of events. Here's Hundley now. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hundley's going to come through with a base hit, so the Mets trying to fight back here. A great ball game here, game number 5. Carl Everett now a chance. Everett's going to go up the middle. Play will be made at second. Relay over the first. And that's a great double play. Wonderful play by the shortstop Lavin. And here's Ryan Thompson now. He'll strike out. So we move to the 9th. The Cardinals a 1-run lead. Bottom of the 9th we go. Mike Kircher, the man, against Chris Jones. This one's hit hard. But it is caught out there. Mann makes the catch. And on the pitch is Bill Bailey against Vizcaíno. 1-run game. Hit to shortstop. Nice play there. Beautiful by Lavin. So 2 outs here. And David Segui, the hitter. Could the Cardinals wrap it up? This one's hit to left field. Fairly deep. But it will be caught. And the Cardinals win a stunner. 6-5 to take a 3-2 game lead in this series. but what fashion they did it in. They win this one with a huge rally in the 8th inning. More specifically, Milt Stock, a grand slam in that inning, getting the job done just when the Mets thought they had it. Rico Brogna played very well, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. Bobby Jones thought he had a win, but it all fell apart in that 8th inning. Looking at the game log, in inning number 8, there it is, the grand slam coming off of Dave Malik. No, Don Florence gave it up. 427 feet. And the Cardinals, when it looked like the Mets were going to sweep them on their home field, steal the ball game, their bullpen closes the door, and that's what good teams do, folks. They're good when they need to be, and the Mets just got to be shaking their head. However, this series is not over. We go to St. Louis and we go to Sportsman's Park. The Cardinals need to win one of the next 2 while the Mets are trying to survive. They've shown they can be competitive, and who knows, Bill Pulsipher is going to go for the Mets against Jesse Haynes, 2 pitchers that did well the first time around. Game 6, all on the line. Let's see if the Cardinals can keep the momentum going and end this thing, or will the Mets force a Game 7? Let's head out to Sportsman's Park. Vizcaíno up there now in the first inning. And this one's lined to center field to start the game. A base hit for Jose Vizcaíno. Here now is Jack Smith. We're in the 3rd inning. Smith hits one deep to right field to the wall. Goodbye home run, Jack Smith. Just over the fence. 2-0 St. Louis here in the 3rd inning. Pulsipher now facing Hornsby. Still 2-0, of course, same inning. And Hornsby goes deep to center. He got all of it. Back-to-back jobs here for the Cardinals. 3-0 early. Hornsby yet another home run in this series. He's been on fire, as you might expect. And now Jeff Kent up here in the 7th. It's 4-0. But Kent has something to say about it. He hits it up against the wall. So the Mets are going to continue to fight here. Kent's going for 3. And this is going to be a run-scoring triple for Jeff Kent, making the score 4-1. And Todd Hundley the hitter. Hundley's going to line a single to left. That's going to make it 4-2. So a 2-out rally here for the Mets. And Bill Bailey now facing Bobby Bonilla. We're in the 9th inning, folks. The Cardinals looking to wrap this game up. But Bonilla rips one into the gap. He'll go against the wall and have a double here, which will bring the tying run to the plate. The Cardinals trying to end this series. They got a 2-run lead. Here's Rico Brogna. Brogna back up the middle, but a nice play by the shortstop. Beautiful by Lavin. Boy, that ball was hit hard. And there's 1 out now for Jeff Kent. 2-run game. And Kent goes hard and deep against the wall in right field. That's going to be extra bases. Kent with the double, and it is 4-3 now. So Kent having a very good game in series. And Todd Hundley in a huge spot. Can the Mets come back? And there's a strikeout, a big strikeout there. And it all comes down to Carl Everett here against Bill Bailey for the series. Let's see what happens. 2-1 pitch. Long drive. That's going to go deep, and it's going to split the gap. The Mets will tie the game. Carl Everett as clutch as you can be. He's got ice water in his veins. Boy, did he come through there. The series on the line, and he tied it up at 4. The Mets going crazy in their clubhouse. What a comeback. Here's a ground ball. Great play at second base. Whoa, what a play by Hornsby to end the inning, but the damage is done. The Mets come back and get 2. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Jimmy DePoto, the pitcher, This ball's hit to third. Nice play there. Bonilla makes it. Hornsby the hitter with 2 outs here. And Hornsby pops it up. So we will probably go to extras here. Yes, we will. Extra innings. Can't get more exciting than this. And we move all the way to the 12th inning. Tim Bogar, the hitter, against Freddie Shupp. And there's a ground ball back to the mound. Play's going to be made at first. He's out. Vizcaíno, the hitter now. Full count. 1 out. And Vizcaíno goes up the middle. There's a nice play by the shortstop, but no play. Vizcaíno too fast. So he'll make it to first. And now Kelly Stinnett. Pinch hitting. Stinnett goes deep center. Look out. To the wall. Off the wall. Vizcaíno heading to third. Vizcaíno stops at third. Second and third. Now the base is loaded with only 1 out. And Rico Brogna, huge chance here. He will hit one deep. That's deep to right field. To the wall. Gonna be caught, but well deep enough. Vizcaíno scores. Believe it or not, the Mets take the lead. It is 6-5, and we move to the bottom of the 9th. Dave Malicki looking to close the door. Then it's the Cardinals' turn to try to turn the tables. And there's a good start. Ball 4. Man on first. Here's Vern Clemens. This one, however, is hit to second. Play made at second. Relay to first. Double play for the Mets. And there's 2 outs now for Milkstock, who was the hero in the last game. But right now, he hits it to shortstop, and the Mets are going to do it. The 95 Mets come from behind and win a dramatic, cardiac game, 6-5 in 12 innings, to even things up and force a Game 7. What a series this has been. I tell you, it has been back and forth with some great comebacks and performances. Look at Hornsby, 4 for 5, a home run, a double. Jack Smith, 3 for 6 for the Cardinals. He also homered, but it didn't matter because the Mets were determined to make the comeback, and they did exactly that. 2 in the 9th, both teams scoring in the 10th, and then in the 12th, the Mets stealing it and getting it done on a sacrifice fly to tie this series at 3. Neither one of these teams want to give in. And wouldn't it be perfect now, actually super appropriate, that we have a Game 7? Because both these teams really playing well. You can see here Hornsby hitting .375, 8 RBIs and 4 long ones. Just some of the great performances. Even David Segui has 10 hits, and the RBIs, Bonilla and Brogna all with 6. But the numbers are kind of irrelevant now because we have one game for the entire thing, the entire series. Jason Isringhausen against Roy Walker. It'll be a shame for one of these two teams to lose it. At Sportsman's Park, can the Mets actually do it and pull the upset? I'm very impressed with their heart and their fight. But the Cardinals have been right there with them also. So it comes down to Game 7, fans. Doesn't get any better than this. Let's head out to Sportsman's Park for the final battle between these two teams to crown a victor of this series. It really has been a great series, and here we are. First inning, Vizcaíno facing Roy Walker. Let's see who's going to take it home. There's a ground ball to first. Nice play there, so that will be the start of this game. And now, Les Mann with a chance to run around second in the second inning. And that's hit hard and deep. Mann will drive in a run here with a double, so the Cardinals are going to take the lead. Mann's going to move to third with a triple. 1-0 St. Louis here in the second inning. McHenry crosses the plate, and Vern Clemens now a chance to get the score even more off of Isringhausen, and he hits it deep. That ball near the wall, and it's gone. A big home run by Clemens. I didn't think it had enough juice, but it makes it, and it is 3-0 St. Louis here in the second inning. A perfect start for them. And now the Mets trying to fight back. Here's Vizcaino in the third inning. He gets a hold of one. Where did his power come from? He hits a 2-run job. Vizcaino makes it 3-2 and unloads with a man on. Over 400 feet. Another smashing home run. And this is a 3-2 game. Here's David Segui. We're in the sixth. Segui will hit this one high in the air, but that's on the infield. Will be caught. That's the first out there. We move on now. Joe Schultz with Milkstock on second base. Seventh inning, 1-run game. And it's his line in the left field. Let's see if they send him home. They will. Here comes the throw. It's going to be late. And the Cardinals take a 2-run lead. But they've been there before. They're going to want more here. Against Maliki, it's Hornsby. 2 outs. And Hornsby just puts this one down in front of Bonilla. No play to be made, and another run scores. An infield single for Bonilla. 5-2 the score, but the Mets are right back here. They've loaded the bases. And Carl Everett with 2 outs has a chance. It is 8-2, however. And he strikes out, and that does it. And it was the 9th inning, and the Mets leave the bases loaded, stranded, but they fell behind a little bit too much. 8-2 the final. St. Louis breaks the hearts of New York and their fans, and they win it in 7 games, celebrating on their home field. The favorites finally take it home. Roy Walker gets the win, 7 strikeouts. Les Mann played big when he had to, 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and Isringhausen did his best, but he loses it. And Game 7, 8-2 after 14 hits by the Cardinals. They weren't going to let this one slide, folks. They win it at home and end this series, and what a series it was. So much drama and excitement, and it came down to the very end. Looking at some of the numbers, and there's some really good ones. David Segui, 10 for 30 in this series. Rico Brogna drove in 6. Bonilla drove in 6 with a couple home runs. Jeff Kent only 222, but he drove in 6. Hundley drove in 4 at 208. And some of the other averages there for the Mets fall off even further. Carl Everett, a home run, but only hit 154. The pitching had its issues also. However, you can see here Bobby Jones pitched well at 13 innings at 277. Isringhausen did lose Game 7, but he pitched decently. But from there, Pulsifer had some issues. We go even further. Saberhagen, a 794. Burbick got hammered pretty good. Doug Henry, Don Florence, some of the men-arms that just didn't get the job done in the big moments. Looking at the Cardinals, what can you say? Jack Fournier, 440. He drove in 4 with a home run, but it was Rogers Hornsby who really shined in this series. He gets the MVP, 357, 9 RBIs, 4 home runs, slugged 857, just did everything. Hornsby, a great series, as you would expect. McHenry, 333, 6 RBIs. So those 3 batters, Fournier, Hornsby, and McHenry, we expected it. And boy, did they come through in a big way. Miltstock, I think it all came on one swing of the bat for a grand slam for him. Vern Clemens with a couple home runs. So he contributed well. And Jesse Haynes in 13 innings, 15 strikeouts, got a win, pitched excellent. Freddie Shupp got a loss, even though he pitched well. Roy Walker, 1-0. He got the win in Game 7, so a crucial contribution by him. Bill Doak pitched well with 19 strikeouts. A couple guys struggled, like Jackie May and Bill Bailey. But for the most part, I think the Cardinal pitching was a little bit better, which made the big difference in the end. The Mets put up a fight like you wouldn't believe, and you got to give them credit for that. but it was the Cardinals who steadied the ship and put it all together in Game 7, led by their superstar, Hornsby, to take this one in 7. It's always exciting to get a 7-game series, and this one was no different. Of course, the Hall of Famer Hornsby, not much else you can say about it. Here's some of the numbers. 9 runs scored on 10 hits, 2 doubles, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 419 on base, 357, and he slugged at 857. So a deserving MVP for Hornsby. We knew he would play well. He exceeded, of course, the expectation, and the Cardinals move on. So again, this was Series 178. Boy, it was a good one. Glad you were part of it. Glad you stuck around till the end. Again, the 1921 St. Louis Cardinals survive and win it in 7 against the 1995 New York Mets. Out of the Park Baseball 21. Only this game can give us this type of excitement. We had it all in this series. We will be back shortly for another matchup, but we're glad you joined us for this one. We will say goodbye for now and hope all is well until we pick 2 more teams to start it up again. The next series will be 179. So long, everybody.